everyone, welcome to my channel once again. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Thank you so much for everybody that's been patient with me. I know it's been a while since I've posted anything, mainly because I'm just going through my own little stuff. Today's video is basically just, let's call it confession sessions today, because I feel like sometimes you're there to you're there for everybody else, and you're there to encourage everybody else, but how well do you encourage yourself to do better? And I think this is just me confessing to myself and just bringing it out in the open. After watching my last video, I just felt like, nah, I think it's time. It's time for you to just confess to yourself. There's nothing wrong with confessing to yourself. I just felt like, let me just be truthful to myself. Um, I wasn't happy with the way I looked in my last video. I wasn't happy with the double chin thing going on and things. So I kind of had to backtrack, and that made me realize that maybe I should just, you know, backtrack and to really just see what's going on. I know that I kind of went off the railings when my friend passed away. Um, and she wouldn't. I'm not blaming the situation, or maybe I'm just using the situation, or maybe I took the situation as an excuse. I don't know. But ever since I'm now backtracking, I think I kind of lost the railings there where she passed on. I felt like maybe I felt like I didn't have a everyday support system anymore. And she was my friend. We were partners. We saw each other at work sometimes, after work. She was the one that encouraged me with my eating and everything else. She would buy me Provitas, and she would buy me diet drinks. She would say, come, let's go for a walk. And she was just that support. And kind of hit me hard when she is no longer around. So yeah, I did go for grief counseling and all that. But I think I kind of maybe just used that as a crutch to let myself go and to lose focus of what I wanted to do and what my goal was. So I had to admit to myself, what was it that pulled me back? Because I was very driven, I was very focused, but then all of a sudden, so I think her death threw me off, and it threw me for a loop, and I just didn't know what else to do. And I was just so derailed by it, that I lost focus, basically. So yeah, that's basically the one conclusion I got to. Um, you know, I think that was the starting point for me going off the rails. I don't want to use that as an excuse, but I think that was one of the triggers that made me just kind of lose my focus, lose direction, lose my aim, lose, my oomph, lose just my passion for just getting to a place where I am, that I've succeeded. So I guess that was hard for me. I think after that it just snowballed into the other reason, um, that I have to confess to myself, is that I after the grief counseling, and coming to terms with my friend's passing, I got back into it and things, and then everybody's great excuse, and that is, then COVID happened. COVID happened. We were at home. When you're at home, you pass the fridge, and then you just want to open the fridge and nibble on something, and it just got bad from there. I just slipped into my bad habits again, you know, eating when I'm not supposed to be eating, eating what I'm not supposed to be eating, and eating the portions I'm not supposed to be eating. So I kind of slipped into old habits and used, oh, well, it's COVID. Everybody's gaining weight. Everybody's complaining about, they can't resist the fridge. So I guess I'm one of them. So I used that as well. And from there, it just kind of just snowballed, and I felt, ah, I'm just gonna stop trying for a while. Let me not stress myself. Let me stop trying. But for me, I feel like it's bad when you start living in fear again, and that's the one thing I don't want to do, is to live in fear with that nagging voice in the back of your head. Oh, heart attack, stroke, wait, calm down, you know. I don't like to live in fear like that. So it's pretty bad if you can't even, if you're struggling to tie your own shoelaces. That for me is a sure, as in, oh hell no, I need to do something about my weight. If you can't tie your own shoelaces, it's pretty bad. So I didn't want to slip back. I don't want to slip back into that, where you struggle just to tie your own shoes, or where you struggle to walk from one end. I mean, I noticed when we got back to work that I couldn't even walk from the workshop to the toilet without being winded. Like I would be literally out of breath. And for me, that is pretty bad. That is pretty bad. So those are the telltale signals for me that if I'm in bad shape, those are the things I look at. Can I tie my own shoes? Can I walk freely and comfortably without being winded? So when those things creep in, I started feeling like, okay, now I need to get my life back in order. I'm tired of using the excuses and the crutches, uh, um, or those excuses as crutches for my bad behavior. So that's what I'm confessing to myself and to everybody, that yeah, I did go off the rails. I have lost my focus, but I feel like I still have a lot that God wants me to do, and I can't do it if I'm struggling to keep up with just walking to the damn toilet. Um, because there's still a whole lot of things that has to happen in my life. So I just felt like I'm confessing to myself now, bad, bad, bad girl. Not in a bad way, as in I'm condemning myself and coming down on myself hard or whatever. But I know better. I know better, and I'm not gonna. I told myself I don't ever want to put pressure on myself when it comes to losing weight and keeping it down. I don't want to ever do that to myself. But I want to be honest with myself by saying, now it's time. We stop here, we turn around, and we get our focus back. So for me, what I've told myself is, as you can see, I made this video in my room on purpose, because this is my starting point, right? I I have showed you in my previous videos that I've got this little friend here behind me. I don't know if you can see it here. I call it's actually a him to me. Um, this is actually, I'm gonna call him my bestie from now on, because it's no use in having this piece of equipment here and not using it. And for me to stop being winded and out of breath, I need to start using it so that I can start walking on it. So that is my first step that I'm going to take. I do not want to put pressure on myself by going extreme and cold turkey all the way. I want to transition. It took me it I transitioned into my bad behaviors. I transitioned back into my bad behaviors. So I want to transition back out of my bad behaviors. So from now on, I have told myself that I do not, and I do not want to focus on a lot of things at the same time, because you know when you decide, oh, I'm going to lose weight, so then you're vigorous on your exercise, you're vigorous on your diet, you're vigorous on being positive and all of that, and you drop the ball as you go. You either drop this one exercise, or you drop the diet, or I don't want to overwhelm myself. So I have written a plan for myself, and I have written a strategy for myself that I'm just going to let you in on just the highlights. So what I have planned for myself or strategized is I want to take this in two stages. Um, Firstly, I do not want to concentrate on exercising as yet, but I am going to start walking on the treadmill for at least about 10 minutes every day, um, because I'm so unfit. I'm really unfit. I don't want to overwhelm my body or shock it too much, because I feel like the most of the shock should come from me getting back into eating correctly. So I'm just gonna do 10 minutes every day on the treadmill, walking at a really nice pace, and getting that done every morning. You see that the treadmill is next to my bed, so I want it to be the first thing that I see when I get up in the morning, and it must be the first thing that I do when I get up in the morning. So that's what I'm basically gonna do from now on, not focusing or stressing too much about exercise. Just walk, 10-minute walk every day. That's what I do. The thing I want to really focus on is getting myself out of the bad habits of my eating, the way I eat, right? So, as I said, I transitioned into, or I transitioned into the bad habits. So I want to transition out of the bad habits again. So I want to just start slowly. Last week I started by telling myself I'm going to stop drinking cold drink, sodas and stuff like that, sweet drinks. All those sugary stuff, I'm gonna just stop drinking it. Um, I wanted, when it comes to the sugary thing, I told myself I want to go cold turkey. I want to just totally cut it out. And that's the one thing I want to just that I was concentrating on last week and this week. So it must just snowball into every week where I just am just cold turkey when it comes to the soft drinks, cold drinks, sweet drinks, sugary drinks, uh, bicarbonate drinks, bicarbonated drinks. I just want to cut that out for now. So this week, since I've started walking on the treadmill now, I want to get back into my good habits, where is eating as clean as I can. Yes, we slipped into the whole thing of takeaways, eating junk food. Those things I want to just cut them out and get into the habit of making healthier choices. If I do feel like nibbling on something, it should be something healthy. So this week, I actually just started with eating without snacking in between, right? I went back to the eating plan that my dietitian put me on when I first went to go see her. And that is basically the brainwashing stage plan that they put you on, as in they teach you now, okay, your plate is supposed to look like this: half veggies, quarter of meat, quarter starch. What are the starches? What are the good meats? Vegetables is vegetables, they're all good as long as you don't fry them in batter and all that. Steamed, praise them a little bit or whatever, that's fine. So that's what I'm training myself now. Went back to that plan and teaching myself from scratch that this is the way my plate is supposed to look. and this is the way the portions I'm supposed to eat. I've taken out the snacking in between because I want to get out of that habit of snacking when I don't need to. But as time goes on, I want to get back into it realistically, but also teaching myself to snack on the healthy things. Because according to the eating plan that she put me on, I'm supposed to be eating 5 to 6 times a day. Obviously, it's small portions of food. It's your breakfast, lunch, supper, and then your two snacks in between. No snacking in the evening, unless you are really, really, really hungry. And then there's certain, healthy foods that you can take if you feel like after supper, you're still hungry, or you feel like you didn't have enough. Your stomach is growling and you're lying in bed. Then you can go and have that piece of fruit or that yogurt, or that Provita or whatever, to calm yourself down. And I want to get out of the binging also. That's why I don't want to snack in between as yet. Just breakfast, lunch, and supper. That's all I want to do for now. Those are the stages that I want to go through. And then if I see that my eating is under control, I'm starting now to, get back into it and things, then I will go back and concentrate on exercising, increasing my time, increasing the intensity, increasing the length of how of my exercise time, and increasing uh, 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 the levels, just going a level higher when it comes to exercising. But I want to get my eating you know, I want to get my eating under control, because as I was taught, that it doesn't matter whether you can exercise for hours and hours at the gym or whatever. If you're not eating correctly, you're doing it in vain, because what you put in your body is what you get out of your body. So I need to get that under control, what I put in my body first, and then I'll master the exercising. But for now, the exercising is low intensity, just walking on the treadmill. I will tackle that once I've tackled my bad habits or gotten my good habits back when it comes to eating. I want to get rid of this double chin. It just bothers me. I've always said that in my previous videos. I've never been a small person, never been a thin person, but I've always been, by God's grace, a healthy person. He's sustained me, He's kept me. So I just want to do my part by making sure that I keep my body up to scratch, so that He can work through me. He can't work through me if I am huffing and puffing just to get from one place to another. And He wants me to work in His vineyard and work with His people and serve His people as a minister, as a pastor, as somebody who works with children in the church. Can't run around with them because I get tired quickly. He can't work with me if my body is not physically there. So I want to just get to the stage where my body is physically well for me to do God's work. So um, stay tuned. I'm holding myself accountable for this. I don't want to go and blame anybody else. This is my journey. It's always been my journey. And I do not want to put strain on myself or stress on myself. I'm going to take it one day at a time. And I believe that by the time I open my eyes, um, I will be at a better place right now, mentally and physically. A comment. So you're very welcome to comment. Leave me an encouraging message. Let's encourage one another. I made this video to, maybe it might help somebody else. So I will continue to keep you up to date with my progress. Um, I will put up some, you know, uh, photographs on my Instagram or whatever, or even here. But let's encourage one another. Let's motivate one another. It is a new year. I know it's very cliche beginning of the year, everyone's on a weight loss challenge and everybody, but this is for my health, and I do not do it for any other reason other than my health. So you also just do it for no other reason other than your health, your happiness. Do it for your sanity. Do it for yourself. So thank you so very much for joining me, for listening to me. I will definitely see you in my next video. Bye.